Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach. Happy end of Sukkot and beginning of our last fall holiday, Simchat Torah. So I'd like to invite up Pat to light our Shabbat and holiday candles tonight.
I'm hooked on my, there we go. May our eyes sparkle with the light of Torah and our ears hear the music of its words. May the space between each letter of the scrolls bring warmth and comfort to our soul. May the syllables draw holiness from our hearts, and may this holiness bring peace to us and to all God's creatures.
Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivan lahad liknei shel Shabbat v'shel Yom Tov. At this point in our service, we think of the week that is past and we hold on to all of the good things from this week. So if you had an experience that inspired gratitude, I invite you to share that joy with the community now. Yeah. Judy? Wonderful. It's good to see old friends. Yeah. Susan?
I have two.
All right.
Too many?
Double goodness. 200 might be too many, but I think we can handle 2. Yeah.
Eleanor, who turned 1 about 6 weeks ago, just walked this week.
Whoa.
We got to see it.
That's so cool. First steps.
Jennifer, who some of the older folks might know, Jennifer, our artist friend, won a wonderful award in Chicago from the Three Arts Foundation.
Mazel tov. Awesome news. Anything else good this week? Yeah. Jeff?
Our grandson entered his first science project in Madison. It was on the blobfish.
Good. On the blobfish. That's good. Quality work. Yeah. Susan?
I was very happy to receive an honor for mentoring a student through the Richmond Jewish Coalition for Literature. So this honor is for mentors who have worked for a long time with students. And I received this honor.
Mazel tov. Well deserved. So we thank God for all of these.
there's one more.
One more? Yeah. Ari? Ooh, new glasses on the way. It's good.
We got approved for a really cool homeschool grant,
Mhm.
and already got to sign up for some cool outschool classes. You can see in page 1 that we get
Oh, Mazel Tov. Very exciting. So we thank God for all these blessings, including the blessing of simply being alive for this moment in time, with the words of Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehechianu v'kimanu v'hi והחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. And so now we're shifting gears a little bit from our more typical Shabbat experience to our Simchat Torah experience. So if you haven't had the chance to celebrate ever before or just in a long while, Simchat Torah is a medieval Jewish holiday. A lot of Jewish holidays come from the Torah itself, and then the rabbis elaborate on the text to tell you what do you do to really celebrate. This one's not in the Torah. It's not in the Talmud, where the rabbis were writing and completed that work around the year 500. So after that, they said, we need to celebrate the Torah more. Like, it's the best book ever, so let's have a dance party. And that's basically what we're doing. So as soon as we finish reading the last book of the Torah, we start immediately from the beginning again. And dancing is a form of joy, and simcha, right, from Simchat Torah means joy. So I invite you to bring whatever joyous energy you have. Like some of us may have had rough weeks, but there's something joyful we can find in this moment. So don't do anything your doctor told you specifically not to do, but do get up and dance as much as you can. So we're going to review some common Jewish dance steps. One, if you've ever done Israeli folk dancing, they call it the mime step in that genre of dance, but you may also know it as the grapevine step, depending on where you learn this move. So we're going to go over some basics, and if you're comfortable, we get up, hold hands, meet your neighbors, right, and create a circle of joy and community together. So let's all stand in this middle together. I might ask you to hit the next one. Okay. So the basic step, take your right foot, put it in front of your left foot. Then move your left foot, and now take your right foot and put it behind. And then move your left foot again. So forward, side, back, side. Forward, side, back, side. And that's what you need to know. Sometimes we might switch it up and go in the opposite direction. We'll see if we can handle that. But that's what we're going to start with for now. That's the mime step. It's supposed to flow like water. And then another move we'll do is when we're holding hands doing the mime step, occasionally we might run into the middle and go, woo! Just because it's fun. So let's practice that. Just be goofy. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, run to the middle. Woo! And back, 2, 3. Try it again. And 4, 2, 3. Woo! And back, 2, 3. All right, you're pros at this. Those are the main dance moves that I wanted to teach tonight to keep it super simple. But if you want to do conga lines or freestyle, it's all open. And we'll also take turns dancing with the Torah scrolls, because that's what we're here to celebrate. Our guest of honor is the Torah. So we'll bring out our first scroll, and thank you to our band tonight for providing the music while we dance. And in between each dance, there's also, you can do swirls if you want to get fancy. You can kind of swirl inside. We'll see how adventurous we want to be. So in between each procession, where we're dancing with the Torah scroll, we'll do a kind of call and response chant for this holiday. And does anyone here already know that they would be comfortable holding the Torah scroll for one of the dances at some point tonight? We got a shrug, a solid yes. All All right, so we'll find ways to indicate who wants to carry the Torah next. And you can also, if you're nervous about holding the real thing, you can grab one of the stuffed versions. If you drop these, it's no big deal. And you can also wave your flags, especially if you're not up dancing, you can still share your joy by waving your flag. All right, so we'll do the prayer before the first procession, and then our band will play, and we'll dance together. Anna Adonai Hoshiana, Anna Adonai Hatzlichana, Anenu, Anenu, V'yom Koreinu, ay, 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 Anenu, Anenu, V'yom Koreinu. Here we go, our first Hakafa, or procession. We've done our first Hakafa. Great job. High five to the person who took the initiative to do the first in woo. That was great. So we're going to do two more. And is there someone else who'd like to carry the Torah? And you don't have to commit to the whole Hakafa. You could do it for half and make eye contact with someone and see if they'd like to have the Torah next afterwards. Okay. All right, so we'll do the call and response, and then the band will provide our music very shortly. Anna Adonai Hoshiana, Anna Adonai Now, if anyone wants to make an inner circle around the Torahs and then an outer circle, we can switch it up a little. All right, here we go. Second Hakafah. Good thing is he's such a good team player. Sure, yeah, there you go. All right, we're going to do our third and final Hakafah. So if there's anyone who hasn't held the Torah before, who wants to do it, this is your chance. And we can switch in the middle of the dance if there's more people who want a chance to hold the Torah. And after this third one, we'll have a water break. So. Anna Adonai Hoshiana, Anna Adonai Hatzlichana, Anenu, Anenu, V'yom Koreinu, ay, 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 Anenu, Anenu, V'yom Koreinu. Yeah. Listen to Linda. No. If anyone's thirsty, there's a Brita filter over there. Sure.
Okay. So this reminds me of an event long ago in my life. I was studying at the Shalom Hartman College of Jewish Studies outside the main central bus station in Jerusalem in 1971, and it was this holiday then. And we had a group of students, mostly Americans and Canadians, who were coming back and wanted to learn something about Jewish law and ritual. So we went through our regular celebration, and then we said, well, let's go down to Mea Shearim. It was about 4 blocks away from us. And I, of course, had quite a lot of contact with the Haredim. They would come and daven at our synagogue. This is not a group of people who you would assume are highly physically fit. They are pale, they are skinny, many of them smoke quite a lot. So I was not having high expectations of the energy of these young men celebrating. So we got about 2 blocks down by one of the major, very conservative yeshivot, very traditional yeshivot. And we kind of got beckoned into this large courtyard, and it was filled only with men. Must have been 200, 250 young men dancing ecstatically. There were probably 6 or 8 Torah scrolls there, and they were being passed back and forth. And I went in saying, oh, these guys are going to tire out quickly. The answer was the sense of joy, of exaltation. You know, I have ambivalent feelings about these very Orthodox people, but the feeling of the communality and the level of joy was very touching to me now, many decades later. So here we are, different life, decades away, but trying to bring a little bit of that koach, the sort of Hebrew for power and love of our traditions. So I just thought I wanted to share that with you.
Thank you, Ken. All right, before we unroll the scroll, at least partially, is there anyone else who has a quick Simchat Torah study? Simchat Torah, there we go. Story, not study. I was like, there's a word in English, yes. You want to share? You good? It could be happening right now. All right, so next part of our story, we're going to unroll the scroll. So we'll need one fairly strong person to grab onto this end, and we'll try to get through the end of where we are currently located through the book of Deuteronomy. So stand up if you are willing to lift about 5 pounds worth of parchment.
I guess, I mean, I can have to do it too.
Okay. All right, do you want to hold the base?
Sure.
Because we really need everyone to do it, otherwise it's like 30 pounds on one person. So, yeah, if everyone who's comfortable. So you'll kind of grip it by the top. You want to make sure your finger isn't anywhere near the ink.
Yeah. Like lift it. Like, okay, you need to be very, no, you need to be, okay, stop it. Why did you do that? I don't know. Thank you.
All right, let's find. Go over there. All right. We could go a little this way if we want. Does everyone want to hold a little bit? Then we'll roll the other way. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna, if there's any kids here or kids at heart who want to take a very brief Torah tour. If you can hit the next arrow. Yeah. Slide. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna look for on our tour of the Torah, this is where it ends, right? Do we get all the way to the end? Okay. So you can see the last words here, and then it's just a bunch of blank. But we're going to look for the beginning of a book. So there's going to be a bunch of blank before the beginning. Do you see any spots where there's a bunch of no writing? It'll be light with no writing on it. Let's see. I'm thinking maybe in this corner. Do you see any spots? And if you want, you can use the yod and very gently point to it. You can point at it. Where do you see a big gap? Very good there. And then right here is where we start Deuteronomy. Excellent. All right, so we found our first thing on our Torah scavenger hunt. Our next thing is we're going to look where two pieces of parchment are sewn together. So you can see there's going to be a line in the middle, so there's lots of spots. And on the back, it looks like there's a Band-Aid that holds it together. So look for one of those spots where there's two pieces of Torah parchment sewn together. Awesome, good job. Now we're going to look for special Torah letters that look like they're having a bad hair day, right? They've got three little alfalfa things going on. So those are Torah crowns to make the letters extra decorative. So if you look for the letter Shin, you might know from a dreidel. And look for some. So Shin, Ayin, Tet, Nun, Zayin, Gimel, Tzadi, those are all letters that will be embellished with the special Torah crowns by the Sofer, the Torah calligrapher. So we find one? Awesome. All right, and next we will look for the end of a Torah book. So if one book was beginning, what do you think the book before it was doing? Ending. So let's go back to the beginning and see if we can see where the last book ends. Do you see a gap there? Little space with no writing? So this is where Numbers ends and Deuteronomy begins. Now we got to zoom in. This one might be for someone who's taken a little more Hebrew. We're looking for the generic word for God, which is Elohim. So it starts with the letter Aleph. And yeah, it's in there quite a bit. Or versions of it, Elohecha, your God, Eloheinu, our God, Elohim, just God in general. Or if you can find the letter Aleph, that might be enough. Did you find an Aleph? Good job. Good job, you found some olives. All right, next we'll look for a special name for God. It starts with the letter Yud. The smallest letter of the Hebrew alphabet is a Yud. And we were looking for Yud, He, Vav, He, which we pronounce as Adonai. Or if you can't find that, look for any word that has a yud in it. If you see that little itty bitty yud letter. All right, awesome. Let's find our next word. This also starts with a yud. It's the word Yisrael, which means Israel or the Jewish people. So it starts with a yud, ends with a lamed, has the aleph in it, and two more letters, sin and resh. Yisrael. Yeah, the very last word of the Torah, hint, hint, is Yisrael. There we go. All right, next, we're going to look for unique formatting. So we saw some spots that had big spaces to show you one book ended and one began. But poetry is usually written with some unique formatting. So around here you can see some gaps. And here you have some curses, and there's gaps between each curse. And in the Ten Commandments earlier, you have a lot of gaps between the you shall not, you shall not, you shall not. Yeah, that's the Ten Commandments here.
Where?
Right here. Lo tirtzach, you shall not murder. Lo tinaf, covet, steal, adultery, all the fun stuff, right? Yeah, all the good stuff. Yeah, no. All right, next one. Oh, that was the Ten Commandments, right? And then we're going to look for the Shema, and that should be here. You'll see a giant Daled and a giant Ayin. So the Daled's probably easier to find. And it'll be closer to the beginning. So if you see any letters that look a little unusually large, it's in the... Yep, you found it. Do you see the big Dalet over here? Yeah. So it's stretched out and made a lot bigger than the other letters. All right. And since we found the Shema, let's sing the Shema together. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. And we'll go to the next one. So in the Torah, there's no vowels or punctuation. It's a little bit like Wheel of Fortune, right? But you can't buy the vowels. You just have to memorize them. And there's also extra marks when you're preparing your Torah reading, like for your bat mitzvah or something. You practice from a book called a tikkun, which means like the corrections and correct pronunciation. So that will have the vowels, the punctuation, and little musical notes that are called trope. We'll skip that for now for the sake of time because I know you're all holding a scroll. But let's do our ritual Torah reading. If you know the Aliyah blessing, we'll do this all together as a community. Normally you have to be at least 13, but kids can do it tonight. Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach, Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah. And let's go over to the very end of the Torah. Come on, Ari, if you can help me and point to the last bit with the yod. Do you want to use the yod or do you want me to hold it? You can hand it? Okay. Try to point around there. These are the last 2 or 3 verses of the Torah. Yeah. That's the very last word. And we're going to start here. V'lo kam navi od b'Yisrael k'Moshe asher yada'o Adonai panim el panim lechol ha'otot ve'hamofetim asher shlacho Adonai la'asot be'eretz Mitzrayim lefaro olechol avadav olechol arto olechol hayad hachazaka olechol hamora hagadol asher asa Moshe le'enei kol Yisrael. So you can see the English translation, basically, no one was as cool as Moses, right? And then he drops the mic, right? So he was the only one who knew God face to face, like the closest you could know God, even though God has no face, but whatever that means metaphorically, to really have a close connection with God and be the most remarkable prophet in Jewish history. So when we finish a book, there's a tradition. We're sad, right? If you've ever finished your favorite book or your favorite, binge watch something on Netflix, and you're like, oh, it's over already. So we need some strength to get through those moments. We say, chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. We tell each other, be strong, and let us strengthen one another. All right, so we finished the Torah. Let's roll it back up, and then we'll read the beginning of the Torah, not from the scroll, because that'll take too long. But let's slowly roll our Torah back. We can roll from both sides if it's not too complicated. Thank you, Ari. And make it as tight as you can, but we'll fix it later if it's a little loose. Okay, stop touching things. Sorry. Trying to help. I know. You're not going to interrupt it? You told me not to touch things. Okay, that's fine. Well, that I'm not worried about for you. So we'll do our next Torah reading, and then we'll sing the Aliyah blessing together after that. So we just finished the very end of the Torah. Now we'll go right back to the beginning, the first chapter of Genesis. In the beginning, God created the heavens of the earth, right? Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz ve'haaretz haitza tohu vavohu ve'choshech al penei tehom ve'ruach Elohim merachefet al penei hamayim vayomer Elohim yehi or vayhi or, bless you, vayara Elohim et haor ki tov vayavdel Elohim bein haor ubein hachoshech vayikra Elohim laor yom velachoshech kara laila vayhi erev vayhi voker yom echad. So in the beginning, it's just kind of chaos, and God speaks things into existence, right? Let there be light, and suddenly light was a thing. And God saw that thing, that light was good, and made it distinct from other things. We have light, and we have darkness, we have day, we have night, and that's all the first era of creation called Yom Echad, one day. All right, and we'll do the blessing after together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. And now we'll return our Torah to the ark. Is there anyone who would like to have that honor of carrying the scroll to the ark? Don't all jump up at once. All right. Oh, Ed's going to do it, so you can play guitar.
Okay.
So you can't do both at the same time. We practiced on the unicycle, but it didn't go well. All right.
until she starts, or?
English. Okay. Everybody rise.
Sure. Please rise as we open the ark. It is a tree of life through the narrow path to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life through the narrow path to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom, it is a tree. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom. Thank you, Ed.
You may be seated.
And there was a custom of doing the Mishaberach prayer for healing around the Torah service. One, because you'd have the most people there. Presumably some people sleep in a little bit and they eventually get there for the Torah service. But also sometimes Torah scrolls are brought in as a kind of a folk belief that it offers more protection to have a scroll with you. So if there's someone who is thought that they might have some difficulty in childbirth, sometimes they'll bring extra scrolls or other holy items to offer some ease. So tonight we have our Torah still with us in our hearts, as well as the names of loved ones who are in need of healing at this time. Alan Arkava, Alyssa Freeman, Renee Gould, Amy Kane, Alex Simon, Linda Woods. Are there other loved ones we wish to pray for tonight? With the power of community, we pray for their refuah shlema, their complete healing of body and spirit. Bishabeira avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishabeira imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. As we continue along with our service, there are stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. And tonight we remember with love the yahrzeits of Marvin Bloom, father of Judy Bloom, Adrienne D'Agostino, sister-in-law of Renee Gould, Frida Foyer, mother of Stan Foyer, Jules Foyer, father of Stan Foyer, Sandra Goldstein, sister-in-law of Sylvia Fine, Jonathan Gross, cousin of Alex Simon, Dora Pakula, mother of Jerry Pakula, Lillian Stein, aunt of Jeff Hansel, and Ernest Strauss, longtime member of ORME. Are there any other loved ones we wish to remember tonight? Zichronam libracha, may their memories always be a blessing. We rise as a community of support for the Mourners Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Bialma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute, B'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uvizman kariv imru Amen. Yehe Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olomei almaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yit hadar, v'yit aleh, v'yit halal, shmei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort for all who are bereaved. And let us say, amen. And please be seated. We'll conclude our service with, announcements. Thank you. It's a wild party. I can't really, keep track of everything.
Shabbat shalom. What a great evening, huh? And I'd like to thank our musicians for participating tonight. Yay! Just a few announcements. Tomorrow there will be Torah study, both in person and virtual. And then some other important things that are coming up are there is a RISC House meeting this Sunday at 10 o'clock here at Oremy for anyone who is interested in helping identify issues for RISC this year. There's pickleball coming up on October 22nd, and if you didn't know it, our very own Rabbi and Rachel are fantastic pickleball players. So that's coming out in the weekly update, so please sign up if you're interested in coming to that. This week, the membership committee will be sending out through the weekly update an interest survey to get an idea of what people are interested in. So please take a minute to fill that out when it comes your way. And finally, the rabbi is in need of substitutes for religious school. So if anyone is willing to do that on occasion, please see her so she can grow her list a little bit. Thank you. Next Sunday, that's way down on the list, is real theology. All right. Thank you.
Now, we conclude our service with Oseh Shalom, prayer for peace. Oseh Shalom bimroma, Uyaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Yahaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, 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 Yahaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Chag Sameach. If you could help us move the chairs back into row formation, that would be wonderful. And thank you again to our klezmer band. We're so glad you're here to make it a real dance party. Thank you, Rachel.
Oh, I'll take